This is Don Cryptonium, and today we are going to talk about economy of the airdrops, because it's very difficult for some people to understand how is it possible that the tokens that are airdropped out of thin air could have any value. So Don Cryptonium is trying to build an argument that will say that the airdrops is the best way to create the value, and it's probably the best way to raise the money for the creator of the project. So if you will enjoy this discussion, make sure you will like this video. Don Cryptonium needs the help. Make sure you subscribe this video. Make sure you share this video with people that you have argument with, and leave the comment if you don't agree. Leave the comment if you agree. Leave the comment if you have some additional thoughts. This is very important. So you see, I'm making this video because there is a lot of discussions about airdrops recently, and people don't understand how is it possible that the tokens get airdropped. They have value based on what? How is it possible? It's a scam. It's not a scam. So I'm trying to think. You see, I spend a lot of time thinking, and this is why I'm here, because I'm trying to have discussion with you. You see, I'm mainly interested in the project that is called Juno Network recently, which is smart contract platform, and also Ethereum is smart contract platform. So I will go back to Ethereum, but first of all, let's address this thing, because this will be our starting point. So there is the guy called Thor Bear. He's creator of the Secret Network, very, very successful Cosmos-based project. And he tweeted a few days ago, Juno now passed 1 billion circulating cap, 40% inflation, most holders cost basis at zero. Yes, because the Juno was airdropped to Atom stakers. I bought it. I'm impressed and yet also confused. How is Secret, with its adoption, differentiation, and roadmap, not a 10 billion cap? How is it still under 1 billion? How did you get so lucky, Anon? So I will try to respond to it. I don't think the Tor will ever see it. But there is I left the comment that there is no difference between the tokens airdropped and between the tokens given for the investment to the venture capitalists. The value of airdrops doesn't materialize out of thin air. Money is invested into a project, and I think that's how tokens get their value. Some for wages, some locked, and some for airdrops. Just what I think is happening, happy to be educated. So you see, most of the people think that if someone invests money into a project, that brings the value to the project, right? So if venture capitalists buy the Solana token for 5 cents per token, that means that Solana token is valuable, and that's how it's gonna pump to $100 or $200. And I want to go back in time a little bit, and exactly we are going move back in time for 1 year, and what happened in the spring, end of the winter, spring of 2021. You see, this was the DeFi craze, the Ethereum craze, and ERC20 token craze. And what was happening back then, with the help of the famous YouTube shillers such as BitBoy, Lark Davis, Journey Crypto, many others. I don't blame them. That's their business, okay? So like that's okay. They do it, or maybe it's not okay. So there was plenty of ERC20 tokens releasing, some projects, basically smart contracts written on Ethereum. And what they were doing, also not Ethereum, many other platforms such as Cardano and some others shitty platforms. Let's not pretend what it is. And what they were doing seed rounds on some platforms, raising $500,000, $1 million, releasing the tokens maybe for 5 cents, right? That's what we're doing. Remember the token, what was this? Refinable? Is it there? So let's see. Okay, there is the token, this one. It's 14 cents now. So look, they launched at few dollars, but they did the kind of private round before, selling to like influencers for cents, literally for cents. Majority of supply with the lockup time, so they would release like this is not ERC20, that's on Binance Smart Chain. So these people bought it at few cents, pump it, the price when it released it was at few dollars, so these few people dump it. Let's start with this. There is no way that 500k, 1 million, 2 million is enough for the project to sustain. So the question first is, what was this private sales purpose here, right? Was it like it's not much money to sustain. So was the purpose to raise the money and run the company in a successful way? Or was the purpose to release cheap tokens to few private people, pump it, and dump it to make big money, and no carrying on of sustainability of the project? And to be honest, most of the ERC20 tokens were dumped. Similar to Refinable, ShopX, plenty others that were shielded on YouTube that time were absolutely dumped. And then we could move even to the token that is claimed to save the Africa, the people's token, ADA, right? So when you go to ADA, you think it's the people token, but the same things was happening with the ADA ecosystem, right? Project, this one, I tell you, you might not believe, I don't care. I just know, okay? So I just know whether you trust me or not. This project was released to private investors. It's ERC20 now, but it's apparently it's Cardano ecosystem. It will probably transfer for cents to private investors and then dumped on the market. Same thing. So the question is it the right way of releasing projects? It's just dumping on the retail. And here let's move to the Juno network and what Cosmos ecosystem is doing. And the argument I will try to make that so far with the extensive thinking I've done, the Cosmos ecosystem in this airdrop economy could be the best thing that has happened. Most fair, very capitalistic in a sense, very, very freedom-like in a sense, and probably most fair to the retail. And let's use Juno as the example here. You see, Juno was dropped for free as the airdrop, and it was airdropped to the stakers of Atom, so people who are staking it potentially for years, right? So like the very loyal group of people. People didn't want to sell. In fact, they bought more, which increased the price. And there will be also projects released on the Juno network, similar as on Ethereum. There was ERC20 tokens released. That's the same way as Cardano projects released. But this project, the same Solana, these projects all had private investors. But it would be stupid for the applications that are built on Juno network to go the route of investors when the mother of this project, Juno, was airdropped. This would be like cringy. Would be like, what the hell are you doing? That's not our philosophy, right? So, okay, I don't want to look at this shit. Let's change it. Let's see here. Okay. So because this is what I'm talking about, okay? So it would be stupid to get the private investors, and you have plenty applications built in, which I was talking, Juno ecosystem. Let's go. And next to Juno swap. So idea is if we have the Juno mint token, Juno whatever, I don't know who will have token, right? It will be stupid for them to get the investors. So what these projects will be doing, they will be doing probably airdrops to the people who stake Juno, provide liquidity on Juno swap, etc. So how does it have value? And why it's the best thing for development and success of the certain network. You see, because it will be purely judged by retail, purely judged by the people experience. That's my own thoughts, and this should not be treated as any sort of investment. This is like like a little bit like schizophrenic, trying to predict, trying to think, and stuff like this. So if you drop the absolute nonsense and the shit, people will not touch it or sell it for cents because it's worthless, right? And people will not be interested because they will know this is shit. I don't want to do it. And because there is no incentivized economy for the YouTubers and other influencers, the shit will not get pumped, because why would they? They have no personal benefits into it. While at the same time, the projects that airdropped and that are good and people want to use it will be glorified. So this economy, what will create, the good projects will be glorified, the bad projects are going to get dumped. And with this airdrop economy, it's really fair distribution, because it's incentivized people who deliver the good thing to the ecosystem. And with the airdrop, it will start at potentially zero value. People will buy more of the certain token, and thanks to this, price could potentially increase. Also, what happened with ERC20 token, people were watching YouTubers and YouTube, who will pump the next token, right? This is economy. So they don't buy Ethereum, but they chase the shit projects because they think of the gains. Sorry, my nose is so itching. Shit. Oh, sorry for that. Sorry. I'm scratching it and it's still itching. So annoying. Anyway. So they were chasing the gains, right? But in this case, how you chase the airdrops? Like, what you do? How you get exposure? Probably by Juno, right? Like, if you want the Juno projects being airdropped to you, or Cosmos projects, you buy Cosmos, etc., 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 like whatever. But that's how you get exposure, because you don't know what next will be airdrop. How you chase the airdrops, right? Like, how you wait for what will airdrop and you buy it, but you don't know if it's good or not, right? So it could incentivize people to keep buying Juno. And despite the Juno inflation, the Juno price is rising. And also with the airdrops, the good projects are rising because the bad projects are dumped and moved into good projects. So it incentivizes the development, it incentivizes the innovation, which is the only one fair thing that should pump the price. And this is why I believe this system is more fair to retail. This is my thoughts, and this is how I see Juno. Of course, I could be wrong. I don't care, because, like, my idea is to think. I like to think. I like to analyze, and I didn't see it before. I didn't see this airdrop economy, how it can actually materialize, but I realized this is the best way. And also, how these projects get money for development then, right? You would think. Many of the projects is validators, so people appreciate if people do work and validate to them, so the people get the share. That's how they make money. But also, with the airdrops, it's mainly like, many of the projects drop 50%, 70% to retail airdrop, and they keep like 5% for the team often, sometimes 10. It's fine. It's not 80%, and in the case of 90%, I see in the case it was ERC20. And if the project is good, price rise, suddenly, with they holding, they have their assets for development. This is basically how it works. So this is my thoughts. I know there is some conversation of the people like, oh, you talk about some tokens, it's shit tokens on the Ethereum, on the Bitcoin. You don't know. Here is the issue, you see, like, it's hard to have discussion if you don't know what I'm talking about. I understand your perception, because people who don't understand, they usually decline. But it's hard to have this, because I can have discussion on trading and I understand bullishness on ETH maxis, but without the understanding of the both sides, it would be difficult. And I'm not pretending here that what I'm doing is purely speculation, right? So it's not that I'm thinking like sitting here and I'm like, I'm going to do 100x. I absolutely don't know. And I never tried to be this way. And I always try to be open with my thoughts, with what I'm thinking. And more, around this blockchain, I would ask like the philosophical questions of the blockchain. What's economy? What's monetary systems of the blockchains of the airdrops and stuff like this. This is all what I'm doing here. So for now, the Don Cryptonium will be out. Of course, discovery will probably happen on the Juno swap. You see, more and more will happen, and similar as in Ethereum, soon there will be hundreds projects listed here. And it will be fun. I think it will be really funish thing, because there will be so much shit coming in, and that will make it all fun. And remember, as the Pupmos says, it's all about friendship. Till the next time.